to be raised and for monitoring to be made due to a potential future tsunami threat if it does end up soon erupting. But, by far, this week's top story involves a disaster related to the size and destruction caused by a series of major volcanic eruptions of the Lewotobi volcano. While Lewotobi had been continuously erupting since December 23 of last year, up until the beginning of this week it had only produced one medium-length pyroclastic flow, one thick flank lava flow, and its tallest eruption plume only rose 2,500 meters above its summit. In other words, activity consisted with a medium-intensity volcanic explosive eruption. However, this all changed on October 31, the date of Halloween. That date marks when a new batch of very gas-rich basaltic magma began intruding underneath the volcano in an eruption which beforehand solely involved somewhat gas-depleted basaltic andesite magma. As this new mass of magma traveled up its magma conduit, it caused part of the conduit to break and form a plug at 2 km depth on November 1 Street. Whereas beforehand eruptions occurred every 6 hours, no eruptions occurred at all during the next 53 hours as large amounts of gas and pressure built up. Then, 3 minutes before midnight on November 3, the plug burst, generating a major explosive eruption which hurled thousands if not tens of thousands of lava bombs and volcanic projectiles high into the air. Car-sized lava bombs fell up to 6 kilometers away while golf ball-sized lava bombs fell up to 11 kilometers away. This sadly damaged or destroyed 2,400 structures, caused 9 fatalities, and 55 injuries. Yet, the eruption was not over as now more basaltic magma was entering the volcano than its conduit could reasonably accommodate, causing repeated blockages to form. After a 2-kilometer tall lava fountain was generated, 3 even more powerful but far less lava bomb-rich explosions occurred, all of which were sub-Plinian in nature. Ash plumes reached up to altitudes of 55,000 feet, and Lewotobi's exclusion zone was expanded to be 7 to 9 kilometers in all directions around its laki-laki cone. Heading to the west, the alert level of the Unrest volcano which last erupted in 1969 was raised from yellow to orange. Locals detected and reported a strong sulfur smell due to the likely presence of hydrogen sulfide gas being emitted, occurring alongside an increasing number of volcanic earthquakes. But most concerning is the fact that cracks have recently appeared around IA's active cone, specifically in a region which is highly hydrothermally altered. There is now a potential fear that if IA were to soon erupt, it could trigger a collapse of the cracked region into the sea, generating a potentially destructive but mostly localized tsunami. That is why its current exclusion zone is extended 2 kilometers more to the south compared to its other sectors. And, in Russia, the Shiveluch volcano produced a Shiveluch eruption, fairly large explosive eruption on November 7. Gas-rich volatiles building underneath its Karen lava dome were partially released in a powerful explosion, quickly sending a plume of ash to an altitude of 36,000 feet. As this towering plume drifted to the east, it caused several centimeters of ash to fall on some locations. However, since part of the eruption column was too heavy, it collapsed back to the ground, creating a pyroclastic flow which largely remained isolated to a local riverbed, incinerating areas up to 11 kilometers or 6.84 miles distant. And now, here is a quick list of all of the world's volcanoes which are a list of erupting volcanoes currently erupting. Additionally, here are some volcanoes showing signs of unrest which are not erupting as of the recording of this video on November 10 of 2024. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member Bill Dorsey